Hey everyone, just a quickie before I finish for the evening. I just wanted to share with you some thoughts about something I've been talking about with several of you today. And that is something, you have to forgive me, I'm struggling a little bit this evening and this is related to what I'm talking about, but if I come across as a little bit slow and sluggish and struggling with my words, it's because of the pain I'm struggling with at the moment, so just bear with me. This is linked to what I'm going to talk about as well. So when you're going through a tough time and when you have a bad day and when it's just going a bit tough and when you revert to old habits and old patterns and when you are when you just think to yourself sometimes, are you ever going to suss maintenance, or are you ever going to be able to stick to plan properly? Don't panic if you find yourself going down old pathways and old routes and old patterns of behaviour, because we all do it, even me. And I've been giving examples of this today to some of you, and how just this week I've been doing it, and I shall give you an example of how. So a little bit of background is that the treatment that I get is every 10 weeks for my hemicrania continua, and I have, if this is week 0 and this is week 10, I have my pain levels are like when it's well managed, if that's good. I'm not going to be able to explain it very well here. My pain levels are not very good when I have the injections. In fact, they're really, really bad just after I've had the injections, but they're just before the injections, they're really not very good. And then when I have the injections, they are, so in between the injections, they're not very good. And then in between the 2 injections, it goes really, really good, really, really good pain control, and then it gets worse again. So in between the injections. And as you all know, I've had to push back because of me screwing up the dates of my injections, because they were slap bang in the middle of the booking our holiday. My fault. I've had to push back by 2 weeks the dates of my injections, which means I'm now, instead of 10 weeks, I'm going to 12 weeks in between my injections, which means that my pain control is going to be even worse. So I'm going to have 2 weeks of really quite poor pain management. And that's because in the run up to my injections, my pain just gets worse and worse and worse. And so I've got 3 weeks now of my pain control being really quite poor. So this week, this is all relevant. This is just not me being a poor me video. This is, and by the way, I don't want any sympathy from you in the coming weeks about this, because that will just make me feel much, much worse. In this week, I have noticed that in the evenings, so normally I'm absolutely fine, and every now and again I might allow myself to have a square of dark chocolate, because I love dark chocolate. But my rules around food now are that every now and again I'll let myself have a square of dark chocolate. And I've noticed that around 7 o'clock, pretty much every evening, I'm having a square of chocolate, sometimes a couple of squares of chocolate. And it's becoming a trend now that around 7 o'clock every evening this week, I have been having a couple of squares of chocolate. And not the end of the world, I don't beat myself up about it anymore, but it's just something I've noticed. And what I do now is I never beat myself up about it. I never berate myself. I never think I'm really weak or bad anymore. I just notice trends now. So today, as I was mulling over this, I just found myself thinking, okay, this is really interesting. I have this like a scientist hat on. I put on this scientist hat of, okay, what's going on for you here, Sonia? And I look at what's going on with this trend. Why is it that around 7, depends when I finish work, 7, and what else is going on for me in the week, 7, 8 o'clock, you're always going for this not just one piece of chocolate. And it's not every day, by the way, that I have had chocolate, not just this week, but in the past. But this week, every day, bit of chocolate, a couple of squares of chocolate, always around the same sort of time. And so what I've noticed is that my pain has been starting to climb in the day from sort of 3-4 o'clock. It starts to build, and that's because my medication that I don't just have my injections 10 weeks apart. I also have a vat of medication in the morning, and then another vat, much bigger vat of medication to see me through with my pain control at night. And that is, they sort of block my day. And I can't take this medication till about 10 o'clock in the evening. So about 3 o'clock, I start to notice my pain levels start to rise and rise and rise. And by about 7 o'clock, I really start to struggle with my pain. And so 7-8 o'clock, guess what? I'm starting to think, oh dear, this is a bit of a struggle now for me. But I've still got about 3 hours to go before I can take that chunk of pain meds. So it's no wonder that I'm going down old pathways of self-soothing, getting a bit of a serotonin soothing, a dopamine hit. My brain is doing what it can to help to get me through those 3 hours. So all I've done today, as I sat down and thought about it, was I thought, right, okay, I could carry on. In fact, someone today said to me, you could, as I was talking to one of you guys, Alison, said to me, you could actually factor in having the chocolate as part of your pain management. And I could do that if I wanted to. But what I need to do is I need to figure out how am I going to manage these next couple of weeks to help me get through these 2.5 weeks now. And that's what I do now. When I notice that I'm starting to pick or starting to struggle, I step back and I go, what's going on? And the thing I did this morning was, okay, it could be that. What else could it be? Is there anything else going on for me right now? Could it be the other thing that's been bubbling away for me? Could it be that? If so, what do I need to do about that? Could I do that? Could I do that? Could I do this? Could I do that? Is it that though? Or is it the thing I've just spoken to you about? And I just, rather than just leaping in with the food and managing it with the food now, I don't do that anymore. I look at what else do I need to do? You know, I talk about toolkits all the time with you guys. I look at, is what I have in my toolkit, is that working? And is it not working? Do I have everything that I need in my toolkit, or do I not? Do I need to put other things in my toolkit now? And do I have everything that I need in my toolkit, or do I need external help? And so that's what I wanted to share with you today, is even I still have moments where I'm like, do you know what? I've gone for something that wouldn't normally be in my normal day-to-day, but I now look at it and go, oh, this is interesting. It's a bit of a trend going on here. I look for trends. I don't worry about the one-offs and the day-to-day sort of catastrophe days. I just, if it happens, and I just move on. But it's the trends that I notice and think, okay, this is becoming a bit of a habit now. What do I need to do about this? And what's going on for me that I need to figure out and stop this becoming every evening at 7 o'clock I have chocolate, and it's not just one chocolate, it's a whole run of it. And what do I really, really need to do? Because that's not going to help me long term. So I just thought I'd run that past you all and see if that helps you all to, just help you all